Students, alumni, staff, distinguished faculty, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, and loyal friends, it is my privilege to welcome you this morning as we celebrate a university, its past, and its future by inaugurating Hawai'i Pacific University's fourth president, Dr. Geoffrey Bannister. We begin this auspicious occasion with music, chant, and dance performed by members of one of the constituencies most vital to our university or any university students. After the presentation of the colors, please join us in singing the national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. Please rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
O wow no ve ula kapo ke ali I pole na la na hala na I kawaie le yai ke ho kalu kalu nu ao ke uki no no ho pu ki uki kamako ke ko olau kua hine pua kaya ulu ola lo ho ki ki vai kana ulu I kahi mea I ki huna e makahuna me he hai lai ka pili o hue vai he mai puka mai kai kalama ka hiki na o ili mai ana ma kumukahi e a mai na ulo ke ala ula e ho opu me hana mai ana ya puna me ole hua I ke alihila ni le hua popo he la ila I ka opu ai uola hua nona ka puo ka hiko kahi kina kalai ono hi mai nei o ha e lai huli ano hanon u anu I ke kavelu holu ia o na pali he mari maka he kana nala ni huli ano anon u anu I ke kavelu holu ia o na pali he pali maka he hika na hele malumau nala ni huli lala ni na paya o ka opu ai ka opu a ka umai lai ka nuku ka ula nala ke kahuli lala ni na paya o ka opu ai ka opu a ka umai lai ka nuku ka ula na lai ka makani nui halile o ke kahuli ahuli ka vaili ka maka halavehi ka hoa ki ova hoa vaila ndia me vai puhi vai olue na he ai ko la hui ahuli ka vailihi ka maka halavehi ka hoa ki ova hoa vaila nia me vai puhi vai olue na he ai ko la hui ahuli ka vailihi maka halavehi ka hoa ki ova aina nui pili ka la velo no veo velo mau no ka hiku o na lani la hui ho o he no I ka pu'uvai mai Hawai'i I hau aina nui pili ka la velo no veo velo mau no ka hiku o na lani haina ia mai ana ka puana e ola o kalani a mauloa haina ho mai ana ka puana o kala kauai no hei no ai ala e ai huli hoi
Please join me in thanking the Hawai'i Pacific University Band under the direction of Dr. Patrick Hennessy, soloist Malia Ka'ai Barrett of the HPU International Vocal Ensemble, members of the Halau Kala Onohi Mai o Ha'e, led by Kumuhula and HPU instructor Tracy Lopez, and finally, the members of the Hawaii New Zealand chapter of Brigham Young University of Hawaii. Thank you. I will now read greetings from two members of Hawaii's congressional delegation. Senator Daniel Inouye has sent the following message. Dear friends, Irene and I thank you for your gracious invitation to join you for the inauguration of Dr. Geoffrey Bannister as the fourth president of Hawai'i Pacific University. I regret that due to my congressional duties in Washington, D.C., we are unable to be with you on this auspicious occasion. From its humble beginnings as Hawai'i Pacific College in 1965, Hawai'i Pacific University has grown into a distinguished institution of higher learning. Today, with a diverse academic background and many years of administrative experience, Dr. Bannister takes up the reins of this exceptional institution. Dr. Bannister has proven himself well equipped for the challenges ahead. HPU is in good hands. To you, Dr. Bannister, you have big shoes to fill and a proud legacy of your predecessors to help guide you in the years ahead. I have no doubt that you will lead this university with distinction. I wish you good luck, good cheer, and Godspeed. Congresswoman Hirono has sent the following message. Aloha to everyone attending the presidential inauguration ceremony of Dr. Geoffrey Bannister, and a special welcome to Dr. Bannister. Both of our stories are immigrant stories. He was born in England, and after a long and illustrious career has come to Hawaii. I was born in Japan and came to Hawaii as an 8-year-old. But our stories are about the opportunity of America and the global focus of our multicultural state. In the past half-century, Hawai'i Pacific University has grown from a small liberal arts college to a 4-year university with an international population that makes up 1/3 of the total student body. HPU students are immersed in an environment that respects all cultures and that focuses on the importance of being a global citizen. One of the most culturally diverse universities in the world, it is fitting in our state, our Hawaii. My appreciation to the Board of Trustees, the student body, and the alumni for their support of this new president who will continue to make HPU a place of global learning and excellence. My best wishes to all as HPU embarks on an exciting future. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Bannister to Hawai'i Pacific University and to our island community. Ho'omaikai. On behalf of HPU and Dr. Bannister, thank you, Senator Inouye and Congresswoman Hirono. Joining us today are representatives from the higher education community here in Hawaii and far from our shores. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. Linda Johnsrud, Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost of the University of Hawaii, and Chair of the Western Association of Schools and Colleges Accrediting Commission for Senior Colleges and Universities. Dr. Johnsrud.
Aloha. I have the distinct pleasure of representing both the Western Association of Schools and Colleges Accrediting Commission for Senior Colleges and Universities, also known as WASC Senior, and the University of Hawaii System in congratulating and welcoming Geoff Bannister to HPU and the higher education community in Hawaii. As chair of the WASC Senior Commission, I work with a group of dedicated commissioners and colleagues to ensure the quality and educational effectiveness of senior colleges and universities in California, Hawaii, Guam, and the Pacific Basin. WASC's mission is to promote high standards and institutional engagement in academic rigor and student learning. I know that President Bannister is well suited to lead Hawai'i Pacific University in its commitment to meet these quality standards and to continue the great mission of Hawaii's largest private university. He brings a rich and diverse background to the position with more than 30 years of university leadership experience. He is recognized as an expert in the business of education, and his experience in international education will serve HPU well in your outstanding efforts to prepare students for global citizenship. I am also here today in my role as Executive Vice President and Provost of the University of Hawaii System. I extend the greetings from UH President Marcy Greenwood, who is traveling and sends her regrets that she is unable to be here today. On behalf of our entire University of Hawaii Ohana, we look forward to working with Jeff and the HPU community in a spirit of partnership and collaboration. Colleges and universities around the country are navigating through some very challenging waters right now. We are all dealing with tighter budgets while enrollment numbers continue to climb. In these difficult economic times, people are turning to higher education to help them achieve their dreams of creating a better future for themselves, their families, and their communities. It is clear that the value of higher education has never been greater. Building new and innovative partnerships and inspiring collaborations is how Hawaii's higher education community will contribute to a better future for our state. The University of Hawaii, as the state's sole public higher education institution, looks forward to working in new ways with HPU to achieve this goal. Last year, UH hosted the state's first ever higher education summit that brought together university, community, government, and business leaders to discuss the importance of higher education to Hawaii's future. We had the honor of being joined by U.S. Undersecretary of Education Martha Cantor, who provided the keynote address. Her words resonated with many in attendance that day, and I think the sentiment serves well on this occasion as well. She said, "If we are going to succeed on behalf of our children, it will take everyone working together. Education is everyone's responsibility, and everyone has a role to play." I know that Jeff has been graciously welcomed with much aloha, as is the tradition of our islands. But at this moment, I want to extend my personal and warmest aloha in welcoming him to our higher education community. And we look forward to our institutions working together in the coming years. Congratulations and best wishes for every success. Mahalo.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, Chairman of the Board, Dr. Michael Chun, will now perform the formal installation of Dr. Geoffrey Bannister as the fourth President of Hawai'i Pacific University. Dr. Chun.
Aloha mai kako. Inaugurations have a long history in American colleges and universities, dating back to colonial New England in the 17th century. In the early years of the life of a college, when mere survival is at stake, inaugurations normally don't take place. The first president of Harvard College, in fact, to be formally installed was Harvard's third president in 1672. Today, Hawai'i Pacific University joins this tradition of inaugurating its presidents in all respects. When Chat Wright became the third president of Hawai'i Pacific College in 1976, many doubted the future of the small downtown college. There was simply no time for an inauguration. 35 years later, Hawai'i Pacific University has exceeded just about everyone's expectations under Chat's leadership. The time now has come for an inauguration. This inauguration, this ho'okumu, looks forward to new possibilities, but it also looks back and honors the work done by those who came before us, the presidents, the trustees, the board chairs, the retired faculty and staff, and of course, our alumni. They were the ones who put down the roots of a great university. And now new branches grow because of those roots. I ulu no ka lala I ke kumu. These new branches include a new president, a new faculty, new staff members, and new students. Today, as a university community, we take responsibility for nurturing a great institution, the kind of great university the people of Hawaii deserve. Dr. Bannister, will you please step forward? Dr. Bannister, Dr. Geoffrey Bannister, today, October 13, 2011, in the presence of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, students, alumni, national and local officials, representatives of other colleges and universities, your family and your friends. It is with great pride that we install you as the fourth president of Hawai'i Pacific University. Dr. Kearns, could please join us and assist me in making the presentation of the symbol of office. Got it? The Charter of Incorporation issued by the State of Hawaii on September 17, 1965, established Hawai'i Pacific College. This charter and the bylaws of what we now call Hawai'i Pacific University are the legal documents by whose terms you, Geoffrey Bannister, have been elected president. Congratulations, President Bannister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the Ohana, there can be no doubt that Hawai'i Pacific University is a good university. Over the course of almost 50 years, HPU has become Hawaii's largest independent university. It is number one in the state in military enrollments and number one in the size of its nursing programs. It is the only university, Linda, in the state to have won 5 national titles in athletics. Last academic year, in its distance education division, HPU taught over 17,000 course enrollments. Recently, HPU became officially a Hawaiian and South Sea Islands minority-serving institution, and it has become home to a growing scholarly research and artistic enterprise driven by a talented and industrious faculty. It is not easy to grow in less than 50 years from 2 classrooms and 57 students, which Chat led, to a university over 8,500 students and a full-time faculty of around 300. We should rejoice in these achievements while we look ahead to see if we can make similar strides over the coming years. Let's begin with looking at HPU's context. Higher education is becoming more of many things: more global, more expensive, more privatized, more profit-driven, more technological, more bureaucratic, and more customer-focused. These trends have not been universally positive, and we have not been totally successful in expanding attainment and access. President Obama is expressing a serious and valid concern that our credentials are slipping. In 1980, the United States ranked number 1 in the world in college attainment. To get back to that origin from our 10th ranking today, we will need to increase the proportion of college graduates by 50% by the end of the decade. That's 8 million more associate's and bachelor's degrees by 2020. We can become more credentialed again, but is that enough? I suggest it is not. We need to become more educated and not just more credentialed. A recent study of over 2,000 undergraduates showed that there was little appreciable gain in students' critical thinking over the first 2 years of college. That is not a problem. That is a disaster. To serve the social, intellectual, and economic needs of the world's leading democracy, our universities need to become more global, less expensive, more focused on the common good, less profit-driven, more technological, less bureaucratic, and more learning-focused. Rather than stooping down to pull up our credentials, we need to lift up our students to the heights of their full capacities. That is going to require that we require more of them. The study that documented flat performance and critical thinking gains also reported that the average college undergraduate is spending 15 hours a week studying. That's down from 40 hours a week in the early 60s. Not here, we say, but those are averages. That will not meet the competition, because that competition is no longer just in our own high school classrooms. It is in the corridors of Shanghai, the laboratories of Korea, and the thought capitals of Europe that is rapidly transforming its higher education systems. We need to concentrate on initiating and accelerating a spiral of continuous improvement. The university as we know it began somewhere around the beginning of the second millennium in the early 1100s. It is therefore one of the longest-lived innovations of humankind, and it flourishes best when it concentrates on its most critical function. The university is the only institution in society dedicated solely to the disinterested pursuit of truth. But it is also an institution that comes in many forms. Among the broad types, it is important to choose the appropriate class of university for a vision for the future. We cannot be all things to all people. For a maturing institution such as HPU, it may at first seem easier to say what we are not. We are not a flagship university, we are not a career college, we're not a liberal arts college, and we are not for profit. We might opt to be called a professional university, but that definition does not capture that most quintessential feature of American higher education, the centrality of the arts and sciences. Under the definition of what was recently formed as, I quote, the New American College, and has emerged into a definable form for the Regional Comprehensive University, we find a definition that incorporates the centrality of liberal education with rigorous professional training and dedicated public service. This three-legged stool is where I think HPU needs to look. It appears more like what we call the ANAC, ANAC universities. Great professional programs are rooted and reflect back upon the basic academic disciplines of the arts and sciences, and great universities serve their community's aspirations and not just its present needs. Here lies an appropriate framework and example for defining a model of greatness appropriate to HPU. We do not have to have Ph.D. programs to have a great graduate school. We do not have to turn our backs on the liberal arts in order to promote professional excellence. And we do not need to draw inwards and away from our community's needs when we teach our students. In the pursuit of truth, beauty, and scholarly endeavor, nothing comes between our students and us. Their development is our contribution to the civil society of which we are a part, and we intend to live the balanced life of the scholar, teacher, citizen. To this, our universal function of the university, we must add also our local or parochial function. A university thrives only when it respects, draws from, and sustains the community of which it is an integral part. HPU therefore has to pay close attention to three great threads on which we must concentrate our planning. Those three great threads are Hawai'i, Pacific, and university. Hawaii is our home, our location, our culture, and our greatest asset. Our three locations represent the best of Hawaii: the shoreline beauties of Makapu'u Point, the vitality of downtown Honolulu, and the magnificent, tranquil power of the Hawaii Loa campus must and shall be developed in balanced harmony. It takes all three parts to make HPU's Ahupua A. Hawaii is also the principal object of our endeavors. It is a society which receives our most important productions, students, and knowledge. HPU programs provide the globally trained citizens that modern society needs. In an increasingly multicultural world, Hawaii is also our laboratory for learning how to manage a culturally diverse and sustainable civilization. Hawaii is our geographic advantage and our inspiration. Our planning should be committed to and informed by Hawaii's rich cultural and physical heritage of diversity within harmony. Pacific is our blue ocean and the name for our century. The great American diplomat John Hay once remarked that the Mediterranean is the ocean of the past, the Atlantic is the ocean of the present, and the Pacific is the ocean of the future. That remark was made in the 1890s. Today, Hay's description is even more apt. HPU's strategic location, deep in the heart of this great ocean, provides both geographic and cultural access to the Americas, the South Seas, and to Asia. From an ecological, cultural, and scientific perspective, the Pacific is also an asset and a laboratory. Our Ahupua'a extends from the volcanic tops of Hawaii into the blue waters of the Pacific and to our neighbors on all its shores. HPU will be global in its nature, but should be firmly Pacific in its focus. University is our purpose and our destiny. We must be to the mind what great hospitals are to the body and great religions are to the soul. We must promote the flowers of beauty as well as the eternal verities of cultural tradition and the universal powers of science. Our programs should be delivered according to need and tradition, and in locations where they are needed, not simply where we are already located. To achieve the great and lofty ideals espoused here, HPU will have to be excellent at mission fulfillment. Its core competencies must include the ability to create and sustain a student-centered learning environment that challenges the best and nurtures all. HPU must be excellent at fostering teamwork and collaboration. HPU must be resource smart. Scarce resources need to be allocated with care and strategic acumen. HPU must be flexible and willing to serve the needs that exist in real time, not just the needs that we wish to tackle. HPU needs to be bold, innovative, and active, providing leaders to the community who exemplify these same values. The university is now engaged in a widespread planning effort that builds on a series of university-wide meetings held last year while HPU was searching for a new president. Thanks to the excellent work of many in our university community, we hope to complete a draft of the full plan shortly after the end of this calendar year. That plan will be driven by our shared vision, and this is critically important. Over the last few months, many people have asked me what is my vision for HPU. As we all know, most presidential visions are better described as hallucinations. But not when those visions are informed by their community and are firmly rooted in the place where the university lives. A vision that is not collectively developed will not be collectively shared and pursued. HPU needs considerable attention to learning how to initiate and sustain methods of informed and collegial participation in institution building. The processes by which we work will become a point of strength. So we have proposed a planning agenda that focuses on specific issues, challenges, and opportunities. Focusing on real issues that are critical to success will allow all parts of the university to learn how to work together, thereby building strength and long-term competence. Getting from good to great is as much about how we work as what we work on. Our planning must also be driven by our values and our commitments. HPU's commitment to its faculty is based on its most fundamental educational belief that a true education is not just about course content. The interaction of mind on mind is what has distinguished the best of American higher education. HPU must live the truths that no university has ever been better than the quality of its faculty, but many have managed to be worse. A culture of learning and development must be continuously cultivated within a faculty that remains firmly dedicated to scholarly activities. HPU's commitment to students is to meet their educational, career, and developmental needs. This commitment does not extend to their wants. HPU owes it to its students to treat them as more than mere customers or clients. We owe it to them to treat them as students. We must support them through three critical transitions: from high school, military assignment, or career startup into the university, from general education into specific academic major, and from that major into the workplace and society. And that commitment must extend to students of all ages, from pre-college through and beyond the retirement years. We have as much interest in their careers as alumni as we do while they are students, including the practical recognition that it is their appreciation of a fine education that will lead to intergenerational support for the students of tomorrow. Our commitment to staff is to treat them as full members of the educational process. Whether coaching, cleaning, or commiserating, staff are the backbone of the learning organization, and they are an integral part of what makes a great university work. HPU staff works with a team spirit and a dedication to the institution that is second to none. As such, they should be recognized as full partners in the learning process. Our commitment to community is first to provide the citizenry necessary for a great democracy. Hawaii is a special place, so it has special needs. Above all, HPU needs to reach across boundaries and bring the power of global competencies to all its students. Mainland, or as we now call it, the really big island, Hawaii, and international students alike. Let HPU be a veritable engine of civic engagement as it climbs the steps from clearly good to truly great. To conclude, Hawaii's most successful startup venture of the 60s, is poised to become the global private university that Hawaii has so long deserved. Today, as we look west to a new world emerging, we have the Ko'olau Mountains at our back and an ocean of opportunity to our front. Let's go sail this canoe for HPU. Thank you.
Before I declare this inauguration complete, there is a particularly special greeting that I have been asked to share with you. Dr. Bannister's daughter, Kate, is a new mom and could not travel from Boston. But with the help of Dr. Bannister's wife, Jerry, Kate's congratulations made their way into our script. When told she had to limit her remarks to somewhere between 2 and 4 minutes, Kate said that her father would probably advise her that anything you can say in 4 minutes, you can say better in 2. Kate asked that we share a few things about her father. Some we already knew. Geoff Bannister, born in England, raised in New Zealand, world champion cyclist, fly fisherman, geographer, brother, husband, father, and now grandfather. But there's more we didn't know. Geoff Bannister, the turkey farmer, photographer, national snooker champion, lover of Coleman's mustard and action movies and a good story. Well, President Bannister, Kate offers these words to you on your inauguration day. You are always a good sport, always pressing forward, always making me proud, and today is no exception. Congratulations and all my love to you, Dad. Well, there can be no better conclusion than that. So to you, our community, students, alumni, faculty, staff, members of the Board of Trustees, representatives of higher education, and all of you who have joined us here and via the web, we thank you for being witness to our affirmation of HPU's strength now and the possibilities for a long and vibrant future. Please join us under the tent for lunch as we continue to celebrate this ho'okumu. Good day.
equipment. Yeah. We're going to bring the equipment van up and such. So hold on while we just got to pack up all the stuff. And we've got to load up percussion gear onto the yellow truck. So all the help that if you have free time, we can really use some muscle because some of us got tired this morning. I don't want to say who. Anyway. And then percussion and whoever else can help us when we leave here, we got to unload that